in the air. You can cut it with a knife. Let's find out who wins. Ladies and gentlemen, MVP DongRaeGu versus Startail Bomber here in Game 3 on Metropolis. Time to go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get hyped for this final game. It's gonna be fantastic.
IPL 5. What's on your mind? Welcome to IPL 5 Metropolis.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Metropolis, and it is time for the Terran hero to defend his homeland against the marauding menace of this man. In the red trunks playing Zerg to the east, he goes by the name of
MVP DongRaeGu.
Call to battle has been sounded, and Mike Morhaime responds. Expecting to get out sword and shield at any moment and go to battle. However, his opponent is this man who just executed one of the most flawless Terran vs. Zerg games I've ever had the pleasure to see. In the blue trunks to the south, playing Terran, his name is
Startail Bomber.
You know, Paul, I don't even know if he needs to build any barracks this game because he's got an army right here.
He has, and that could be very, very threatening if DongRaeGu is to feel the vibrations of the cheers when Bomber is called out. But on this map, in these positions, I do like it a little bit more for DongRaeGu here. In the past, everyone has said, you know, I don't really like to play close by here. It is easy to get dropped and so on. But if you think about it from a Zerg perspective, he gets full scouting information. He just can send an overlord right over the base. He has overlords all around this right-hand side of the map. He can see all drops that come incoming. And I think he's going to be quite liking this. But we do see a difference in build from Bomber. He's gotten the gas down. He's still going command center first, but he will use that gas early on as a reactor, most likely on the barracks, then straight over to a factory. Yeah,
very much a possibility. What I've also seen a few players start to do on this map, in these positions, for the very reason that you just stated, is to actually get a very early Viking and to start to deny overlord placement, nail them down all over the place. It's a massive waste of minerals for the Zerg to have to keep replenishing those overlords. And it's not even just about not having the overlords there and having to build them. It's about the time it takes to actually move the overlords into position. It takes forever. So it's one more thing you have to worry about, and you've got several minutes of being blind, essentially, to incoming drops.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the way that Zerg plays, is they're going to be building overlords from the main hatchery for the first 10 minutes of the game, usually. I mean, of course, you'll get a couple from the natural, but how long do they take until they take their third base? It's quite a lot later on. So the majority of overlords are already in the right direction. They just need to be pushed down to the bottom right of this map, and a Viking would be excellent. And Bomber's a player that would do something like that. We've seen it this weekend. Then a Viking would open up a pathway for drops to come in. It would obviously supply block and slow down DongRaeGu. I think that's a wise choice if he's going to get the star put, which, of course, he will.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes. The question is, when does he get the starport and what does he initially build from it in the first place? Okay, so we've got the reactor down, and we've also have the factory there as well, and the third command center is on its way here for Bomber. Exactly what we suspected he would have to do on this map, and he's actually comfortable there. While it might seem good for DongRaeGu that he's not being put under a huge amount of initial pressure, you're still giving 3 command centers to Bomber. What that usually means is he's going to build an absurd amount of Marines, and he's going to hit you with them over and over and over again. And you've got to be a player that has the skill to deal with that. DongRaeGu is, of course, a player that can deal with that. But as we saw in the previous game, he eventually collapsed under consistent pressure.
Yeah, and to be a champion of any tournament, you need to play a variety of styles. Even though I guess Bomber only plays Bio, he doesn't really play mech often, if at all. But he has a lot of different versions of Bio. For 3 command centers early on, heavy aggression. We saw Combat Shield Hellions early on. We've seen a slower pace game aiming towards the later Raven and Viking combination. So with that usage, I think he's going to be comfortable adapting to the map. As mentioned, he can't play hyper aggressive here. He's going to have to play a little bit more slowed down, focusing on his defense. As we see tanks already coming out, which is #1 in defending against any Roach, any Lings, any Banelings. Tanks spread out will give him access towards the third base pretty early on. Behind that, he doesn't really need to build barracks. He doesn't need to get a lot of Marines because tanks will do the job for you, which means he can get engineering base down pretty early on to start to upgrade the army that he'll later have.
Now, what is your comment on the amount of gas that he's getting so early on? We're talking about DongRaeGu here. He's just taken another 3 extractors, and the question is, where does he go from there?
Well, if you see right now, his gas is at 70. 2 evolution chambers are about to finish. He's going to need 250 to research 1-1 for his links. He's also got to go up to layer here. He's got to get speed. So in total, he has to get about 400 to 500 gas almost mined immediately. So he didn't get the gases down early on because he was focused on drones, queens, and a 3rd hatchery. But now he has to get a lot of gas all at once to spend it. And it's going to be great. And then, of course, leading into the mid stages with all 6 gases taken, he can start to invest in whatever choice he wants, whether that be Spire for the Mutalisk or Infestation Pit for the Infestors.
Well, the initial Hellions from Bomber haven't really done a huge amount as of yet. And earlier on, we would have seen the use of that to deny creep tumors, but against that many queens, especially after the queen range buff, that really isn't an option. As we saw, 6 queens and 4 Hellions, no, nothing's really going to happen there. So it's not a huge loss there for Bomber, but at least it gave him a little bit of scouting information and map control for a while. But we are going to be seeing that slower paced Marine tank style from him. I like the fact that he's reverted to this safe build, honestly, but it does give DongRaeGu a few different openings, a few different possibilities, and I've seen DongRaeGu play Mutalisk against that style very effectively. I've also seen him play Infestor against that style very effectively, so he's got the options that he wants here.
All right, so we do have this Hellion in the middle.
It's about to get a nasty surprise. Oh, DongRaeGu's actually going to pull back. I think this is a little trick, actually. He may just turn around and then go for him with speed, or he's just going to go and escape. Never mind. So that single Hellion lives to fight another day. 3rd command center going down reasonably early here, actually, for Bomber. Just going to dump it down immediately. And what do we have? Yes, there is the lair on its way. A macro hatchery being put into play as well.
Yep, so super standard game. Excellent, excellent creep spread here from DongRaeGu. As we can notice with 4 queens, he's got that really stretching out far. The question is, Spire or Infestation Pit? It's going to be Spire again, so he's decided to go to his personal style, his preferred style. Is it going to work out? As we can see in the production tab, Combat Shields is on its way. +1 armor and +1 attack is going to be done for the Marines. And then the point made earlier is it can he defend in multiple locations against multiple drops that come incoming while he's trying to harass and play with Mutalisk. So we'll see how this is going to shape up. But so far, both of them have not touched each other. They've gone exactly to where they want to be. It's very equal at this point, identically equal. And we'll see as the drops are about to come in, the Mutalisk about to come in, who is going to take the first lead in this game.
Well, that early 4th base is, I have to think Bomber has timed this out perfectly. He's going right for the, he's just making a beeline for that 4th base there at exactly the right time, and we'll be able to grab that. Nice little bit of Overlord scouting right there, exceptional Overlord scouting, in fact. Interesting that he would choose to drop prior to that. He can just push down to the 4th from there, maybe pick up a few Overlords. That could be his intention. In the meantime, these rocks are starting to get worn down by Lings.
All right, let's see if Bomber's going to get the first blow in this game. This has not been detected yet. All he needs to do is stimp down. He's going to try and... We'll see if he's going to time it out to the hatchery finishing. Remember, he hasn't actually seen it yet. So if this is perfected, which I'm starting to get nervous for what it is. Okay, he's going to go down now. First strike goes to for Bomber, and that hatchery is going to have to get cancelled. So first blood here goes to Bomber.
Yeah, I don't think the Lynx are going to be able to get back there in time. Absolutely not. So there's the cancellation. Now he can get out of there, and... well, there are 12 Mutalisks coming initially. That is an unusually high amount, especially with +1 here. Nice drop comes in, but of course, as soon as the Mutalisks come out, then we're going to have to be seeing much more defensive play here for Bomber. He's seen the Mutalisks. That's actually a little bit of a gift to him, assuming he can start to get missile turrets up and prepare his defenses.
Yeah, and that's immediately what he's going to do. Remember that drop is still active or around on that 3rd base, which DongRaeGu is looking and hunting for. And he will find it, and it will get killed. Doesn't want to lose a Mutalisk, though. As you see, he pulls his Mutalisk back. Doesn't want to waste units.
Yeah, Bomber will just sit there for as long as he can, do as much damage as he can, which is not really a lot to that Ling and Mutalisk composition, unsurprisingly, but here is the defensive phase of the game for the Terran player. When the Mutalisks are active, it usually means drops are very difficult to pull off unless you know exactly where the Mutas are at any given time. And when there's creep spread across the map, that means that you're not going to know where they are at any given time, unless, of course, they happen to be in your base in the first place.
This creep spread is insane,
it is actually
30
ridiculous.
minutes. Look at how many tubers there are across the map, and we're about to see, as you said, the defensive Terran. How well is he going to defend? He's already lost the sensor tower. It's not too much. There is a Thor as well here, but that is a lot of Banelings being morphed right outside the front door. But look at the tank spread. Is DongRaeGu going to be able to go for this? That's a lot of gas invested. There are no infestors. Oh dear me, is he going to be able to crush through? Obviously, if we see Bomber move out, he's going to get crushed. But if he's in a good defensive stance, then he's going to have 2-2 on his Marines as well as about to complete, as well as the +1 on the tanks. Is DongRaeGu going to just walk into this?
Oh yeah, it looks like DongRaeGu very well might. He's delaying just a little bit, and now he's going to come into play. These bunkers actually acting as spotters, doing a little bit of damage to Banelings, detonating several, and here comes the tank fire. Huge tank fire here for Bomber. Oh my god, the defense is incredible!
That was beautiful there by Bomber, held it exactly how he wanted to, and now that's really difficult for it is really difficult for DongRaeGu to play now because he's lost so much gas investment. He hasn't even started pathogen glands, I don't think. He's only just now got the hive on the way, and this just allows Bomber to get out of that defensive stance. Of course, he'll have turrets and a handful of Marines left around for the harassment of the Mutalisk, but he can take a 4th base, no problems, no questions asked. This is looking really good for Bomber at the moment.
That could not have gone any better. He was absolutely prepared for that. He knew what his opponent was going to bring into play. These Mutalisks, as you said, still a bit of a pain, especially with +1. 1 missile turret will not be enough. Hell, even 2 isn't really enough to keep away that many Mutalisks. And DongRaeGu will want to be doing as much damage as possible here. He's able to kick in a supply block and a 200 supply Terran. Not going to help them all that much, but at the moment, this is where we see Bomber try and move out. And this is going to be the longest push in history. Look at the road he has to take in order to get to DongRaeGu's base.
That's right, the purple brick road here. Going to be very difficult to travel on. As 3-3 is on its way for Bomber. He is starting to clear up the creep. There's a lot of Mutalisk, a lot of links here. New units get donated.
Yep, a few Banelings detonated as well. He's probably not too concerned about losing those Marines. He can very easily reinforce and is already doing just that. Thor count's pretty good as well. Here comes another charge right here from DongRaeGu, looking to try and overwhelm this. The tank placement is once again great and will be more than enough to push back that many Banelings.
Wow, another fight victory for Bomber. Again, he's won 2 really convincing ones now. And through all of these aggressions, only really just now are we seeing the 4th base of DongRaeGu get utilized. He's only just got drones over there and starting to mine. The Ultimus Cavern is on the way. It's quite a way away. And this attack's going to get pushed away just as easily, I feel.
Here comes the spread, and it detonates on the Thor, doing very little. The Marines don't care at all. The Thor trying to provide some fire support, but DongRaeGu, with just too many units, is able to overwhelm this push, and the medevacs are under great threat here as well. DongRaeGu with a vicious counterstroke.
I mean, this is the size of the map. This is the problem for Bomber. How many times does he have to take a fight before he even gets across the halfway line? Yeah. He took 3 fights, including the defense, and he didn't even cross the Zelnoga towers. That's how big this map is. That's why it is so favored towards Zerg. And DongRaeGu is now starting, after cleaning that up, to get back into game. He does have the Ultras Cavern and the Great Aspire at the same time, though Bomber's obviously nowhere near out of it yet. He's got so many command centers on the way. He's got his 3-3 about to finish as well.
Risky, rolling the dice right here in Vegas here for Bomber, but he's been able to bypass the remaining of those Mutalisks. Ventral Sacks, pneumaticized carapace coming in right here. Some interesting stuff right now for DongRaeGu as he takes another big tank salvo. Marines push forward to try and do as much damage as they can, catching out yet another bend. Oh, the Mutalisk spotted it, so rolling the dice clearly did not work out there, and Bomber not able to get to safety and even try to drop the Marine, so that's shut down. And Link's coming in. Where's the tank support? Ooh, DongRaeGu is wary of those tanks, and rightfully so. He does know where they are. The creepers there. 3-3 is kicked in as well, and those upgrades are not in fact ready, and somehow, some way, he's managed to sneak in right here. Got a
drop one Marine. Oh, he does it perfectly. drops the single Marine on the Baneling and then gets out, just gets rid of the Baneling. That was great target fire, really fast reactions from Bomber to hit that down and then drop a Marine on the other Baneling. Really, really good.
But something lurks beneath, Apollo. Something lurks beneath. The Great Aspire is about to complete. There was an Ultralisk cabin going up as well. I believe DongRaeGu is giving himself the option for both at this point. And if Bomber keeps having to take these fights, he doesn't actually get anywhere. Oh my god! Huge amounts of Banelings obliterated there. Not really enough Marines to push that back without doing significant damage to the tanks, but he gets through anyway. Another drop comes in for Bomber. The Mutalisk count is very, very low here. It's not able to get everywhere at once.
Yeah, these 3-3 Marines will fight with a valiant effort, but there are too many units there. The creep is finally starting to push its way back now. It is starting to go back to DongRaeGu's base, but as you said, the Brutals are on their way. 3 starports likewise. Bomber needs this base down, and he's going to have to put some concentration onto getting that down, because if he doesn't, he has to get the gas. He needs the gas to support Ravens, to support Vikings, if he wants to beat the Brutal Infestor combination.
And even then, he's got to be worried about this Ultralisk tech switch that could come in at pretty much any time. We'll see some tricky stuff throughout this tournament whereby it's been a case of, oh, I'm going to switch over. No, I'm not. I'm going to switch over much, much earlier than you would have otherwise expected. Or I'm just going to build both and come up with this really dangerous tier 3 composition. This 4th base still needs to go down. It's being blocked here by Lings. Bomber just so focused on the center of the map, he's not able to clean that up as of yet. Takes his Elnaga tower, gets a little bit more information. Those medevacs starting to evacuate. The Brutal count is not very high at the moment. The Mutalisk count isn't either, but it will be enough perhaps to deny this drop. Needs to really drop those Marines out of there, but looks like he's not going to get the chance. And what on earth is that? That is a couple of Overlords filled with Lings, possibly for harassment potential into the main base. Another drop comes here from Bomber, but that's now a 5-base Zerg he's having to contend with.
That's right, and DongRaeGu's playing this really well. He's defending great. He's going to drop the main base of Bomber as well to say, you drop me, I drop you. And he's going to start to hit the production lines as well. This is an excellent game, an epic game, a final game. Remember, this is 1-1. The winner moves on, the loser goes home.
Oh, there's so many drops going on all over the map. And a push. This is a 4-pronged attack right here from Bomber. The Lings don't even realize the tanks are there. This Hive is taking significant damage. Another drop comes in right here from the side, doing yet more damage to the economy of DongRaeGu. And he's being hit over and over and over again. Supply count is looking really good here for Bomber, but can he actually get into position? The Brutal count is really low. The economic damage being done is stellar right here from Bomber. There aren't any more Brutalords coming out. DongRaeGu doesn't have the bank to make that happen.
That's right, Bomber's playing this really well. He needs to get his 5th down. I'm so surprised he hasn't done that yet. He needs the money to keep up this level of aggression, but he's doing really well with the gas that he backed throughout this game. The Ravens are starting to come out to combat those Broodlords. Tanks are going to come relatively useless very shortly, but the amount of air, especially with +2 ship weapons.
A nice shot coming in right there. Here come the Brutals. Needs to unsiege right now before he loses too many tanks. That'll be at least 2. He's not paying attention. That's 6 tanks he's going to donate in the center right there because he's been working on this. Oh, Infestor's coming out of nowhere. There's the grab coming in once again. And a mistake from Bomber. Not good at all. You don't want to lose that many tanks at this stage. And DongRaeGu taking every advantage he possibly can here, but he is still behind in terms of supply. DongRaeGu continues to get hammered. So many Vikings coming out. Ravens coming out as well, not upgraded. We're not seeing Seeker Missile upgrade. We're not seeing Corvid Reactor either. So this is going to be for PDDs and auto turrets only. I have to wonder if he's completely forgotten about that. He is just all over the place right now. Another run by comes in. That hatchery, oh, the Hive is so close. Another drop would perhaps finish it, and it looks like he might want to do just that.
Well, I mean, he should want to drop both sides because the hatchery on the 5th hatchery on the top left is also very low.
It is,
So if he can get down both, that's going to give him a good edge. He's going to get in there. All the Raven upgrades are coming in now, as we can see. The drop's going to go in. He's going to try and target down the Hive here, but there are transfuses available.
Oh, that's one transfuse. DongRaeGu might be too slow here. Let's see what the Firebag can do. Lings coming in once again. DongRaeGu's drop defense is nothing short of phenomenal in this game. He continues, but look at where the creep is now compared to 10 minutes ago, Apollo.
Yeah, Bomber's just been working so hard in this game. He did manage to finally get his 5th base up, which was so needed. And now with that money, he has 3 more command centers on the way. He has more Marines on the way. These SCVs are giving us donation.
Fighting!
That's right, and they all die. Well, they all get a purple heart at the end of this.
That they do. I'm sure that will be comforting to them in the afterlife. But what we have here is a huge swell of Vikings, huge swell of Ravens looking for Hunter Seeker Missile. This killer killer composition. The idea that if Terran can build this up and execute it properly, then Broodlord Infestor melts like that. The question is, can he make it happen? It's a difficult maneuver to pull off. It's a lot of different units you must control perfectly to make this work. DongRaeGu has had the opportunity to get to maximum. He is on the way. His Broodlord count is now at 9. His Infestor count is at 13.
That's right, and you nailed it, as with this Raven, looks like it may fall down here as the Vikings try to do it. Point defense drone comes in and an auto turret.
Ah, very slick. Slick maneuver right there.
If anybody's going to make this work, it's going to be Bomber. So what we're seeing now is the Ghost Academies coming in for nukes, for EMPs. We may even see battle cruisers come into this game as well. He is going the full distance, the full tech tree of the Terran here to be able to beat the final boss, to be able to defeat a champion here, which is DongRaeGu.
Island Expos. When was the last time we actually saw that? It may very well happen. In this game, it is. Bomber's going to expand to the islands. What a wonderful maneuver that is. 3 Ghost Academies. Ladies and gentlemen, the arms race has begun. Nuclear missiles on the way.
That's right. DongRaeGu needs to start to build the ultimate army, because if he doesn't, then he's going to lose this game. Right now, he's got a good amount of Infestors, good amount of Corruptors. The upgrades aren't that impressive, though, compared to the ones that we're seeing coming out from Bomber.
This is incredibly tense. There is no Seeker missile available there. That Raven is not prepared. That's a big fungal growth right there. Huge damage being taken. Here come the reinforcements from behind. It's a lot of Vikings, a lot of Ravens. Got to watch out for the Seeker missiles. This is the possibility right here. Single Seeker comes in. There's a hit on the left flank. Can we see a second one? Second Seeker. Oh my God, it hits the Infestors. More coming in right now. Going in for the center. Oh, Seeker missile comes in, but a huge fungal. It's not quite enough.
Bomber! He's clearing down the ults.
Bomber fits it in.
GG!
Whoa! Yes! Bomber does it! Incredible performance!
That was absolutely insane. There are so many difficulties that Terran players have against Zerg. And Bomber went the full distance on DongRaeGu's map. He went the entire of the tech tree all the way up. That was the best play of the entire weekend. Unfortunately for DongRaeGu, he's now out of the tournament, but what an amazing performance from Bomber there.
That was absolutely awesome display from Bomber. He stays in this tournament. The Terran hope remains alive. The sweat on DongRaeGu's brow indicates just how exhausting that game was for him. Bomber played the game of his life here against DongRaeGu here at IPL 5.
That was so impressive from Bomber. And DongRaeGu, you know, as much as he must be very frustrated at going out of the tournament, he's obviously watching the replay being like, what just happened there? Who was that playing? Because that was spectacular. There, of course, were small mistakes made on both parties, but in a long 30-minute game, as you can see, the amount of effort that was put into that, the sweat dripping down his forehead, that was just insane.
That was incredible here from Bomber, and while other players would perhaps come out of the booth for their adoration, he's probably watching the replay thinking, what could I do better for the next round? Because there are many Zerg left in this tournament that Bomber is going to have to deal with. DongRaeGu, of course, a massive obstacle, but that was an incredible performance. And if Bomber can keep repeating that, then we may very well see that fabled Terran in the finals, because that was just phenomenal.
Yeah, and there are a lot more, as you said, Zergs to come for Bomber, as he's moved on to the round 6 of the final bracket, and he has to go up against TSL Symbol in his next game. So this is only just begun. Bomber has got a long road ahead of him. Our next game on this stage, though, is going to be MVP Sniper going up against TSL Pulse.
The other remaining